Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Thursday morning, the 10th of April. We're sticking with the Delphi case today. You know, the last couple of days since Richard Allen's interrogations came out, they have set the internet alight. Richard Allen has been trending on Twitter for the last 2 days, and the phone calls are just absolutely tragic. But I've got a question for you guys who think that Rick Allen is guilty and that people who are trying to get to the truth and free Richard Allen from the wrongful conviction are just, I don't know, insane or shameful, or I've had these things called to me over the last 24 hours in my comments. You know, shameful, disrespectful to Abby and Libby's memory and to their families. Well, there's nothing more disrespectful or shameful than wrongfully convicting someone for a double homicide of 2 little girls. There's nothing more shameful and disrespectful than that. Whether or not Abby and Libby's families believe Rick Allen is the right guy, and we know the Patties believe that Rick Allen is the right guy. I don't know about Anna Williams or anybody else in the family, but they've been indoctrinated just like y'all have. Y'all who think that Rick Allen is guilty, well, you just haven't been listening. You've been indoctrinated by nonsense. That's all I can say, but I've got a question for you. That's what we're going to do in this video. Take it away, Andy.
It's time for you guys to start being journalists.
Before an angry Andrew Baldwin left the courthouse, 13 News overheard him speaking to Richard Allen's wife, saying, "It ain't over. The world's watching. The world sees what's going on."
Here's my question. Here it is. I'll cut right to the chase. If you believe Rick Allen is guilty, how come the facts that the state presented at their trial do not fit their theory of what happened? How do you explain it? Now, I've got videos on this. I told people who were commenting in the chat yesterday, my live stream, that you should go and watch my recent videos. The videos that I've done since the trial, since the information about Libby's phone came out, and then more recently about the van. Go and watch those videos. I'm going to just summarise in this video what you've been missing, because you know, if you've not been watching videos that will completely exonerate Rick Allen, you don't know the facts. You've done what the jury did, and you haven't put the pieces together. Well, maybe that's because you've been indoctrinated and you've only been watching videos that support your view, or you just genuinely maybe just haven't got those details in your head yet, and maybe this will help. People come along and say, well, Rick Allen's bridge guy. He's bridge guy, therefore he has to be the killer. Or witnesses saw him, therefore he has to be the killer. He was wearing the same clothes that bridge guy was wearing. He was on the bridge. He admitted that he was on the bridge. He has to be BG and therefore the killer. Well, we now have Rick Allen saying down the hill. That was from the video that I put out yesterday, just a short 2-minute video. Rick Allen inadvertently saying down the hill in the interview with Steve Mullin and Tony Liggett from October 13th, 2022. Look, there's no way that you can voice comparison. Somebody in my comments yesterday said, oh, they've done voice comparisons. That's how they know that he's BG. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. There's no way you can do a voice comparison of just 3 words. No way. There's no technology, no person that can do it. Putting this little advanced ultimate voice comparison together, it was just out of interest, because we got Rick Allen saying down the hill. And I think if you believe Rick Allen's guilty, you're going to say that that sounds like him, that that's definitely him. And if you think he's innocent, you're going to say it isn't. There's no way a voice comparison. There's no way somebody wearing a blue coat and blue jeans can be matched to Bridge Guy. Rick Allen himself, in his interview with Steve Mullin, this is Steve, this is Tony, he was just incredulous. He couldn't believe it when they're saying, yeah, you were there. People saw you. Okay.
I was out there, and I told you from the very beginning that I was out there. You did. I didn't hide it. Did you see this guy? I didn't know. Okay. I told you. I see the only person that I clearly remember seeing that, and this isn't from the day. I mean, this is the next day. The only people or person that came into my mind were those 3 girls that I seen.
The 3 girls that he saw, who were actually 4 girls, well, they didn't see Rick Allen, because the man that they described was tall. 5'10"-ish, one of them said. They all gave different descriptions of what he was wearing. Now, we know that eyewitness testimony is notoriously bad, but the first thing you'd notice about Rick Allen is how short he is. He's 5'4". He's very short. That's the first thing you would notice if Rick Allen passed you. He was really short for a guy. One of the witnesses who said he was taller than her was 5'7". So unless Rick Allen was walking along wearing stilts, then they didn't see Rick Allen. Betsy Blair, the state star witness, who saw supposedly Rick Allen on the bridge, on the first platform, which he admits that he was on for a little while. That's his routine. Goes and looks in the creek, sees if he can see any fish. He was there not but an hour. He left his parents' place, he says, about 11 a.m, and then he got home and then he went to the trails. But he was gone by the time Betsy Blair was there. And because the trial so much was disallowed, they weren't allowed to show the jury the sketch that Betsy Blair said was a 10 out of 10. The dark poofy hair guy who was in his 20s. Well, that's not Rick Allen, is it? No. So no one saw Rick Allen there because they didn't ask people who were there earlier in the day who might have seen Rick Allen. Because he said he left at like 1:30. He was out of the area. Why did they ban geofencing? Is it because geofencing would have exonerated Rick Allen because his phone just wasn't in the area, or it was in the area but before, and it departed the area before the girls got there? There's so much shady shit that has gone on. How are we to know? And Rick Allen here is just incredulous. They're saying that Bridge Guy is him. And so what if he's wearing similar clothes? Oh, you were wearing blue jeans. Oh, you were wearing a jacket. Oh, great. So anybody wearing blue jeans and a jacket is in the frame for this? Unbelievable.
I'm not here to give you a hard time. I'm just here to try to get the situation straightened out. And what we want to do is simply get to the truth. What would help us get to the truth is being able to look inside of some of the things you're talking about, okay? And I get that, okay? And maybe on the other side of things, sure. And on the other side of things, if I thought I had something that was going to help you, that would, what do I have that's going to help you? Okay. Well, I have some questions we can go through here, if you don't mind. And I think we're done. We have some other questions here that we could go through here. And what I could do, you want to hear the questions? What does that hurt? Some of the questions that we can ask you are simply this. And I don't want you to feel like these questions all sound strange, and it'd be very, even accusing in nature, but I want you to understand I'm not trying to offend you. But to help us out, I get help us out by getting to...
I mean, you've got to say, Rick Allen was so polite. So polite. After he said he was done, they still carry on. He should have walked out. he does in the end.
Long in this matter. So, I don't know. Like I said, you went, you talked to my daughter and my wife. What do you want?
Don't know why it's black there.
I can't tell you what happened. I can tell you that if that picture was, I mean, you can sit and take anybody and say, well, if they were wearing this and wearing that, that could be done. If that picture was taken from one of the girls' phones, here's the problem with that. Because I've never met them. No, but listen, here's the problem with that. You know why you can put a lot of people and say they're wearing blue jeans and a blue coat, but you know what the difference is? No, you said you were there. Well, sure I did. We have people that saw you. Okay. Ricky said you were out on the bridge yourself. There aren't that many people that saw me. I mean, I'm sure I didn't miss that many people. If they walked behind me, I guess. You said that you were out on the bridge, this bridge, yourself that day around the time when this happened. No, I didn't. You said you walked out onto the bridge. When we talked to you earlier, you said that you walked out to about the first platform or within that area down the bridge. That's what you told us. So we know that you were on the bridge. Of course I was. Okay. And I told you. And with that, you know, we can say that, is this person you? That's the question. Is that person you?
No, that person is not him, because Betsy Blair saw a young guy with dark poofy hair who may or may not have been the actual killer. Who was that guy? We don't know, but anybody who walked on the bridge that day is in the frame, because what Rick Allen is trying to get across here is he was gone by the time that the girls even got there. He didn't see the girls because he was already gone. And the guy who walked across the bridge and said down the hill is not Rick Allen because Rick had already gone. And then people say, well, what about the confessions? He confessed 60 odd times. Well, this is a phone call from May the 10th, 2023. And this is a very different person. This is what, 6 months later than that interview that we've just seen a clip from. This is a zombie. This is a zombie.
Well, I need to tell you something anyway.
Okay. Are you sure you want to talk to me over the phone?
I think I have to.
Okay.
I need you to know that I did this.
What? No. No, you didn't, dear. There's no way. There's no way, dear.
Love me.
Dear, there's no way. Okay.
I hope you still love me.
I always will gonna love you, honey, but no, you have not done anything. And I think you are not well. So you don't need to be saying you did something you didn't do.
Well, hon, this is the first time I've been able to talk to you, and I've been trying forever.
Were you just not allowed to call me, or?
I don't know what's going on, hon.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to lose my mind now, though.
Don't.
This is the same day they got cut off. This is the same day, about 10 minutes later.
If I get the electric chair, or if I get the death penalty,
No, honey, that's not going to happen. No.
if it does, will you be there for me?
It's never going to happen, dear.
Do what?
Nothing. This isn't right. They messed you up so bad.
It's okay, honey. I did it. I did it, dear.
Stop.
I cannot stop. I I've got somebody here listening to me right now, dear.
I've got someone here listening to me right now. I can't stop because I've got someone listening to me right now. And then at the end of the call, Kathy realizes. She says, "Who's with you? Who is with you?"
You need to stop talking. If if your lawyer's not there, you need to stop talking. Who's with you, honey? Who's with you? Thank you for using GT.
And they cut her off. "Who is with you? Who is with you? Who is with you?" she kept saying. And then it's just cut off. "Who is with you? I can't stop." Like a zombie. And unlike what some clowns, like what's his face from Hidden True Crime, the supposed doctor of forensic psychology, I forget his name, saying that Rick Allen wasn't psychotic, well, Dr. Monica Waller had put throughout April, poor critical, delusions, insomnia, hopelessness, grave disability, disjointed thoughts, still going downhill. She had conversations with him relating to his competency to stand trial. This is why they didn't do a formal interview with Rick and get his confession on video and ask him all the questions and get him to sign, because no one would have thought that was acceptable. That would not have been admissible in any court, in any land, other than Judge Gull's court. But they didn't do it. They didn't risk it. There's a reason for that. 517, disorganized thinking accelerated, vegetative state of depression, having a psychotic reaction to stress. Then in June, his depression peaked, physiological symptoms presenting, trembling, stuttering, knees buckling, eyes bulging. By July, started to improve. And guess what? The confession stopped. But they had what they needed. On the 3rd of May, 2023, this is the confession that they needed. To Dr. Monica Waller, no cameras, shredded her notes. She could have just made all of this up. But this is the confession. We know that he went to his mother's in the morning. And then he said he got some beers, he followed the girls to the bridge, he messed with the gun. I guess that's when the bullet fell out. And that's when he ordered the girls down the hill. Well, the magic bullet truly was magic, because it was able to get itself from the south side of the bridge to the north side of the bridge and nestle itself under the leaves 6 inches from Libby German's leg. He said he saw a man or heard a van, hard to make out, and that's what scared him not to rape them. He then forced the girls down the hill, across the creek, slashed their throats, covered their bodies with tree branches and walked back to his car. Okay, well, how come then the data that was taken from Libby German's phone does not match that confession? Now, I've got loads of videos on this. There's 414 metres, so they're partway across the bridge, 414 metres from 208 to 218. How did they walk 414 metres? And then the phone stopped for 7 minutes, so the state would have you believe that this is when he was trying to rape them on the south side of the bridge, and then the van came along between 2:27 and 2:30. How come then, they're still at the south side of the bridge, the phone only walks another 50 metres to get all the way from the south side of the bridge to the north side of the bridge to the crime scene? And how come the phone registered 2 floors climbed? Because that's about 20 feet. No, the timeline, based on Libby's phone data, that 414 metres should not have been before the stopping, trying to rape them, and then the van. That should have come after. And registering 2 floors climbed makes no sense whatsoever. But then we hear from the motion to correct errors, there was surveillance footage of the van from the Sandifus home, and you could see Brad Webber's van coming along here, and the van has to go all the way up here, under the bridge, and then to the Webber's home. So by the time it goes under the bridge, you've got to remember that when the van goes under the bridge, Rick Allen's there trying to rape the girls, and then it's the van that scares him, and then he takes them across the creek to the crime scene, and Libby's phone is under Abby Williams' dead body at 2:32. So how come then that the van passed here at 2:44? So by the time it gets to here, it's going to be 2:45, 2:46. Webber's phone pings at his home at 2:50. Makes sense. He gets home, he interacts with his phone, it pings off a tower. Explain to me that. I'll ask the question again. How can you justify the wrongful conviction of an innocent man when the state's theory, based on a confession that Rick Allen gave while he was psychotic, doesn't match the state's own evidence that they presented at the trial, namely Libby's phone? And how come they lied about the van? Because that surveillance video was in the discovery. So people say, oh, well, it would have been the wrong time on the camera. Well, did the state test it? I'm pretty sure that they would have shown that to the jury as evidence that the van did pass by. No, that time's accurate. It fits with Webber's phone being interacted with at 2:50 and pinging off a tower. That's accurate. The state hid it. The theory is broken. It's broken by Libby's phone and it's broken by the van. And yet, the jury were hoodwinked. The jury weren't given the full story and they convicted an innocent man. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Come on. Come on. Prove me wrong. But I'll give the last word to Rick.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Okay. Are you arresting me? Well, I really want to try to get this thing worked out. Okay? I want to try to get this thing worked out. Am I free to leave or not? You've always been free to leave.